But I just, by using a couple of simple charts, all I'm showing how to do in that book is to pick stocks that consistently beat the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And if you can do that, you'll be all right. And so it's pretty simple. It's so simple that most financial advisors would probably say it's too simple, but it worked pretty well.
Well, there's brilliance in simplicity.
The brilliance is you can understand it.
Yeah, that's it. So can I ask you a quick question?
Sure, as many as you want.
So what made you decide to start writing books? We have people that are listening to this podcast, guaranteed, that are thinking about writing their first book, me included. And I actually had a meeting this morning with a gentleman that's going to help me with the books that I'm going to write. And I'm wondering what it was that compelled you to start writing books.
Well, I had been actively working and I had some time on my hands, and I had written many technical reports, research reports when I was in the lab, and papers that I had presented at symposium, and I had even been in the various periodicals related to the industry. So I would say I like to write. And when I completely quit working, I had some time on my hands, and I said, well, I think I will write. And naturally, I chose science fiction as much as that was my field. And for those wanting to write, I have had, in fact, I call it my writing school. I've had about 10 or 12 friends ask me similar questions. And I say, well, you need to jump in there and do it. And they ask me how to get started. And I give a pretty simple answer. I think of it as a 3-act play. I introduce a problem or an event coming up, like a presidential election, or some mystery that absolutely has to be attended to. It's something that prompts action. You can't ignore it. And then I try hard to, and I think the hardest thing, I try hard to put together some good characters. I write down like their autobiography that'll be stuff I never use. I work so hard on the characters, and I worked hard over. I think mine in the last book were better because I'd worked harder, and I got good reviews regarding the characters and their dialogue. And I know everything about them, like I feel like I know them. And then I try to I know how this book will end and roughly what the middles will be.